All right, let's talk about what you did here on your closing practice. Okay, first off, these numbers are correct. You just have a few extra zeros in there. If you look at like your revenue, it's 9,600 and 3,500. So this should just be 9,600 and 3,500. Okay, which makes your closing your income summary. Okay. All right, and then here again, you're going a little much on it. So if you look at your expenses, we've got 400 for maintenance, 1,200, 1,000. So you kind of have the right numbers. You just got a little excited with too many zeros. Was that 4,400? 400. Okay. Okay. All right. So now for here, it's just going to be the sum of all these guys added up. Okay. So this is your closing amount for your revenue. This is your closing amount for your expenses. So the next transaction you're going to do is you have a credit of 13,100 in income summary. And then you have a debit of 4,575. Okay, so if you were to subtract those two, you have 8,525 left in the credit balance of your income summary. Because again, here was your credit and here's your debit. And debits, when you do them in the same account, kind of wipe them out. Okay, so we need to make that income summary 0. So since it has a credit of 85.25, we're going to debit income summary. Okay, for 85.25, and then we take that amount. Ooh, this guy doesn't want to go over it, so let's go unmerge so it shows up. There we go. Okay, and then here we want we're going to move it into capital. So the capital is Greg Falila. I'm not really sure how to say that. Okay, capital, and that's where we're going to put that, because essentially that 8,525 represents our net income. Okay, so then the last thing you have to close is your withdrawals amount. Okay, so if you go back here, your withdrawals has a balance of 4,000 and it carries a debit balance. So to close it, we have to credit it, and we're going to subtract it from capital. So we go back here and we say Greg, again, I have no idea if I spelled that correctly, capital for 4,000. Okay. All right, and then Greg, except this time we're going to credit the withdrawal account for 4,000. Okay, so now what you have to do with each one of these is you actually have to go post it. So the revenue is debited 9,600. So I go to the revenue account. On the 31st, we have our closing entry, and that was General Journal, page 12. Okay, and it was a debit of 9,600. And since this has a credit balance of 9,600 and we debited it, that means we now have a 0 balance. Okay, and this was account 401, which you got that part correctly. Then you go down to VCR rental and we debit for 3,500. So again, 31st, closing entry, G12, debit 3,500. Okay, giving us, again, credit with a debit, gives us a 0 balance. Okay, and then we go to income summary, and we have a credit of 13,100. Okay, so 2017, December 31st, closing entry, G12, and it was a credit of, again, 13,100. Okay, leaving me a credit balance of 13,100. Okay, so then you go back here, and on the 31st, we had a closing entry from G12, and this one was a debit of $4,575. Let's go back here and we say debit $4,575. Okay, since this was a credit, we made a debit, we're going to subtract. So we're going to take this minus that. We get that $8,525, which is why in the next transaction down there, you see that there's a debit of $8,525. So you're going to go through and you're going to do that for all your expenses, which will make those a zero balance. And then you're going to affect capital using these two numbers. So capital won't zero out, but capital will be credited $8,525 and debited $4,000. If you have any questions on that, please let me know.